So what we're going to do today is we're going to explain how to properly clean a rifle. And it seems very simple and very easy, but I can tell you after 20 years of being in the business and doing this for quite some time before that, cleaning a rifle is a huge part of what we do here and how we create precision each and every time. It's an overlooked thing. We actually got our system through when I worked with the Secret Service on their match ammo, their duty ammo actually was our ammo. But they taught me a lot about cleaning a rifle, how to properly get it cleaned and ready to go for the next time whenever you're shooting. And typically, like on our Magnum calibers, this is actually a 7mm, it's a Southern Remington mag. We go 22 shots. So we have 2 Fowler shots at the beginning, and then we shoot 5 or 4 or 5 shot groups. And then we clean again. So a lot of people don't do it that way, but we found that if you're wanting to shoot match type quality, you should probably adopt these kind of practices. So I use a roll patch. It's a pretty neat product. It actually comes in a lot bigger roll. I just use a lot of them. The roll patch actually came from, I believe Italy is where we first saw them. And imported some of them. The JAGs are to fit for calibers. So like if you're doing a 7mm, then you have to have a 7mm JAG. The same patch for each caliber. So they have different JAGs for different calibers. So you have 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, 6 all the way up. And I pretty much have all of them here, and it creates a pretty awesome environment with just one patch. Because before I had all kinds of different patches, I was all over the place, and I never really got a tight fit on the board. This does, and it does a really good job. So typically what it takes is about 7 to 8 minutes to clean a rifle for us. And we use one product, which is Borshine. I've had really good luck with it. We use 2 different board brushes, a bronze brush and a nylon brush. So I'm gonna go through that process here. I usually take 3 patches. I soak those patches, and then I grab my jab my patch, it already has a pre-made hole, and then I start cleaning. So first patch usually is pretty dirty, so I usually just get a push through on it, and then as the board gets lubricated with the Borshine, it tends to hang on there, and I can kind of scrub it a little bit. The first time through is basically just to get going with your liquid so that you can get the board ready to scrub. So see, now the third one I got pretty easy to scrub with. Okay, now I'm going to switch, and I'm going to dip my bronze brush. And that's pretty important to dip it so you don't break the bristles and get moving through. So actually moving through. I'll go about 10 times with this brush. And then I'm good on that brush. So I take that brush off, and I go to my bronze brush. I'm sorry, I go to my nylon brush. Stick it on the jag. And then I go to my patches, and I grab 3 more patches. There. Now I'm starting to scrub. Break a little bit of that loose with the bronze. You have to just go all the way through with the bronze. You can't change directions inside the board, or you will end up breaking brushes. I go about 7 times with that patch. So we do the same thing with the nylon. We dip it in the bunch of Borshine. Make sure I'm not breaking everywhere. This time I go back and forth. So I'm basically scrubbing that board with this nylon brush And I go back and forth about 3 times, just making sure I'm going basically a couple inches back and forth. Out. Then I'm back to my roll patch. 3 of those. And then as you get to your 3rd patch, you're starting to get clean at that point. The nice thing is you don't have to worry about, sometimes I've had to have, I've had small patches. I've had like 2, 2, 3 patches or whatever. I'm trying to clean a bigger board. I've had to have like 2 or 3 patches to try to get the jag tight. But this system works pretty good. So now I've done all that I want to do with the Litch's bore shine. Now I go to try to dry the bore and pull out any of the any kind of dirt or grime in there. But generally, it's not bad. And I usually clean maybe 10 times, so 10 groups. I may go back in with some sort of a copper solvent. I've used a lot of different ones. There's one called like Sweet 762. I like that one. I don't use a lot of the Montana products, but they also have one that kind of takes out a lot of copper from the copper fouling. But the Bush's bore shine actually does really good with that. And I typically haven't had to do anything else but this. It's just if I get picky. So as I'm getting down, I got 3 more patches. This one I'm going to turn over because there's not very much dirt on it. Make sure I get all that solvent down there. Sometimes you can run a chamber mop too, but pretty clean. So then I'll just wipe the end of the barrel and I'm done. This is a really nice rifle. It's expensive. It's got a nice scope. It's got a big full scope on it. And you spend all this money and time and effort to go to the range and shoot. And a lot of guys are like, man, I've been shooting all afternoon. I can't get the rifle to group. I can't do this. I can't do that. When was the last time you cleaned the rifle? Well, I cleaned it 30 rounds ago, or 50 rounds ago, or 100 rounds ago. I've seen this a lot where guys really are struggling to get good groups. And typically what happens is they overlook a very important step that is so simple, and that's cleaning your rifle properly. The second is let that barrel cool. Like, it's steel. Like, this one's a carbon fiber wrapped steel barrel. And it's going to get hot. When it gets hot, you're going to start throwing rounds. Rounds are going to go left, right, up, down. You're not going to have any kind of consistency or know what in the world's going on. So let the barrel cool. Sometimes you can shoot a 5-shot group. If it's hand loads, knowing pressure and velocity is a big thing. Invest in a chronograph. I like the Garmin. It's a very nice chronograph. There's a couple other ones now out that are pretty good. But you need to pay attention to the cleaning process and how you do it. And this is a very simple way that's fast and efficient, works really well, and I think you'll be happy with the results. I've talked to many guys that have done cleaning for an hour and can't seem to get by it. So